Change is inevitable. They have said that. And this morning, when I was listening to Vusi Thembakwayo, the South African entrepreneur, one thing about Vusi that I love is the ability to articulate issues in a direct and very simple way. He's an iconic in our continent. It's only that not many people might not recognize him, but if you are an entrepreneur, if you are in the entrepreneurial world, I know you're always searching for information on the people who can inspire you. And maybe if you are looking for somebody in that field, finance, entrepreneurship, business development, then I will ask you to go and check out his YouTube channel, the kind of podcast he does, and the things he posts on social media. That's Vusi for me. He might not know me, but I respect him. And congratulations for the event that happened in Zambia. You did it. I'm from Kenya, but I love his philosophy when it comes to entrepreneurship and business development. And he wants each and every person in this continent to win. Now, back to me. Today, I just want to talk about change. And one of the things Vusi highlighted in his video today is when you literally know you want to change and you know the time for change has arrived, why is it that you don't take that action? Why is it that you don't want to change? What's holding you back? What kind of chains should you break when it comes to change? I know change is the hardest thing ever. Change is the hardest thing ever in human psychology and in human mind. We fight a lot of battles when it comes to change because we fear what will be the outcome. Anybody who wants change, there's a lot of things he has to put in. For example, I will use very simple examples when it comes to change. You see, businesses, right now there's a lot of disruption with technology. A lot of things are happening. So you have to stay alert in whatever you're doing or how you run your business. People are cutting down costs. People are changing the tools, the softwares. So, for example, if you are not ready for change, because anytime the business you are running, there's somebody who is also preparing the same model of business, maybe in a cheaper way, and you don't know the outcome. His or her business might pick up or it might fail. But you as a person, how are you studying the market so that you can be able to make those early changes? For example, big companies like Apple, look, Facebook has rebranded to Metaverse. Apple, there are a lot of structures, they keep changing. Right now, Apple, they're making their own chips. Like, for example, the latest chips they have is M1 Pro and I think M1 Max. Look, they're shifting their business model and they literally understand that once they do this, everybody, you have to make change for your own profitability or your own gain. Nobody is going to make change for other person's gain. The people who do things, let's say if you're used to certain kind of food, or if you're used to certain kind of drugs, if you use drugs, or if there are those things that you're addicted to. And now this means you have to fight them. And you know, their habits. Change are your habits. Those are things that you want to prepare your mind to fight. But majority of us, we fear leaving the comfort zone. How comfortable we have created that environment has made us not to embrace change in ourselves. I'll use myself as an example. When I used to bet, you see, when you bet, there are a lot of things, there are anticipations that somebody has in his mind or her mind. For example, you think your team will win, you think you will win money, and you think that money will change your situation. And that's the fantasy we create in our mind. Okay? So, for example, if you are thinking of change and you are addicted to such kind of behavior, it's quite hard for you to change. And for sure, the people who uses drugs, if you are used to smoking, like it's a chain. Your body, it stimulates your body. Just imagine if you want to quit smoking and you think about it, how will my body react? How will I adapt to the new environment? This needs a lot of sacrifices. Now you have to sacrifice your power. You have to sacrifice the things you need to do. You have to sacrifice a lot of things so that you can now try and change your life into something that you want. That process has to happen in a simultaneous way. And for human beings, because as human beings we are conscious with the action we take, not like animals. As human beings, we love making decisions. Before we take an action, we have to make a decision based on what we understand. So if we feel like the thing we want to take action on is not going to favor our environment, then that one, it limits us. It makes us fear to take the action. For example, if I'm used to something, then I try and project my mind. What will happen after? Automatically, that is going to determine my kind of thinking when it comes to action. Because for me, that will make me feel like, no, I will be a hesitant animal or person to take that kind of action. But if I know the results are going to be good, then I will automatically invite that change in my life. But for us to make changes in our life, we have to sacrifice. For us to make changes in our situations, we have to pull out some things. When I started reading, it was quite complex. I couldn't comprehend the things I was reading. And, reading, it takes a lot of time. You have to go through the pages, those small words. But for me, I was looking at it as in a bigger picture. I'm a content creator. It means I have to equip my mind with a lot of information. So where will I get information apart from watching YouTube videos? I have to read. I have to watch YouTube videos. I have to listen to very important podcasts. But you see now, those are things that I had to sacrifice. You see, reading for a book, in a quicker way for me, I normally take it like 2 weeks. And if I'm listening to a video, an entrepreneurship video that is 2 hours long, you can imagine the kind of sacrifice I have to put in terms of time, so that I get to understand the information. I get to equip myself with the pure information so that I can be able to create awesome content. So I had to structure my life, to change my life in such a way that I can now be able to make decisions that are quite hard. Because some of these decisions, they are not simple decisions. They are very hard decisions. And many people wouldn't like when the decision they are making is going to affect their life in a very in any way, because you don't know. It might be a negative or positive way, because there's people who are not smoking and unfortunately they started smoking, and once you start smoking, then you get hooked up. People say weed is not bad. I'm not here to confess anything. I'm not here to talk. Like, I'm not here to defend anything or what. But I've always said, if you don't smoke, don't try it. If you have never used alcohol, don't. Because once you get hooked to it, then your body can't stimulate itself. Then it means you will have to sacrifice a lot of things when time comes where you will want to quit it. Because the one thing with our mindset is that when we get hooked to something, within no short time, you will realize 10 years is gone and you haven't changed your life. And that's the worst part when it comes to human habits. For me, I love development. How do I know that I'm growing? I have to see change. I have to see some things happening in my life. We are animals that can think, take action, and our ecological system is created by us. We are the only species that affect everything in this world. We affect how other animals live. We affect the environment. We do everything. So if we don't want to be in a certain cocoon, we have to sacrifice. And that's why I have always said, if you want to change for the betterment of yourself, please do. Because that one, it means you are moving some steps ahead. And they have always said, once you start, once you pioneer, then you create the competition. And be consistent in that competition. Progress will show up. Discipline plus consistency is equals to progress. You can only make a step if you are disciplined. If you are working out daily, you have to work out daily. Because imagine your lifestyle in few years, how will it be? You have to sacrifice for such kind of things. And that's why I have always, if you want to change in your life, please think about it in a better way. Make decisions that will impact you in a positive way, and it will bring growth in your life. So guys, this is your boy Alano B the Billionaire. I've always said, let's try and make progress in our life. Let's help more people. And if you find this content relevant and you can relate with, and you have people who are struggling with making change, please share the video, and please tell them it's not how much you make, it's how long can you sustain that thing that you're making. So sustenance in our life is very important. So if you sacrifice to make change, please make sure you sustain that change. Sustain means you have to make it a habit, you have to keep it, and you have to keep practicing it. This is your boy Alano B the Billionaire, guys. Sacrifice, make change, and embrace growth.